Ho ho, Merry Christmas. We are so excited today to be bringing you one of our Hallmark preview shows that we do before the Christmas season starts. And today we are talking about Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, 9 films that they are releasing this year. It's going to be super fun. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Jess is here with me.
Hi, everybody. Happy Christmas in October.
That's right. And how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm just trying to gear up. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't have as much time this year as I did last year, but little Christmas magic, I might be able to
Yeah.
watch all the movies.
We're getting that like cranberry Gatorade going. We're gonna be ready to go.
Yes,
And I mean, last year, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, The Miracles of Christmas, as they call it, uh, did did very well. Would you agree? Did you get to see some of those releases?
I did. I think I watched all the movies. I think I did get them all last year. It definitely took me a while to catch up, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to I definitely know there was quite a few I think from the movies and mysteries that were in my top like
Yeah.
overall, I
Yeah.
believe. I'm trying to like pull up my old list and see if I could
Yeah. Like
find
the
it.
Christmas Promise was one of my favorites. With
Yes.
Tori DeVito, had one of my
Hmm.
favorite Hallmark kisses of all time. The
And the Mrs. Miracle one was really good as
Oh
well.
yeah, Mrs. Merrick one, that was a tearjerker. The one, I forget the name, but the one with Heather Hemmings and Luke McFarlane,
Hmm.
that was excellent.
And
Cheryl
then
Lee Ralph, I think, was in that one. It was very good.
yeah, because I had Mrs. Miracle, Christmas Promise were both in my top five overall.
Mm,
Yes.
Tie. Yeah, Christmas
Very.
Promise, I really, really thought was so well done.
Hmm.
And it got that heart of her and the grief, and it was such a risk to have it start out with her with Giles and
Yeah.
that relationship, and because you don't want it to be more chemistry with him than
Right.
with Dylan.
Hmm.
So because usually they just start with them being widows or widowers. They don't have they don't show the other spouse because it's a risky choice.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a bold move, but I think it panned out for them. I mean, they had a very, very strong year, both
Hmm.
networks, I thought last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they live up to it this
Yeah,
year.
it's going to be very, very interesting. Well, as you all know, if you followed the podcast, we have our preview ranking system that we do, where we have a Cole is we're not excited at all about it. A sock is like a little bit more excited, but still reservations. An orange is pretty excited, and then top tier excitement is the diamond ring. And the idea behind this is just it's all stuff you could potentially get in your stocking.
Hmm.
Was the original catalyst for the rating system. And as we always say, these previews mean nothing. That we've given Coles that ended up being amazing, and we've given
Yeah.
diamond rings to ended up being Coles and very disappointing.
Right.
So it's just
You never know how it's going to turn
no,
out.
and it's just an excuse for us to talk about these movies. So don't get offended. But yeah, they're starting the 22nd. And like I said, there's 9 Miracles of Christmas movies this year, which I think is less than last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I feel
Uh,
like they had at least 10 last year.
yeah, I feel like it was 10 or 11. But don't quiz me on that because I could be wrong. But that's just it feels a little bit less. But we're gonna have fun talking about these movies and let us know as you're listening what your rating would be in the comment section or on Twitter. We'd love to hear that. And so our first movie is called We Need a Little Christmas, which I cannot believe that title is still available. Right?
Yeah, you'd think it would have been used by now.
uh, this on the 22nd. How do you feel about how many pre-Halloween movies that they are having this year between
Um,
the two channels?
I'm not like the person who's like it has to be after a certain date before I can watch Christmas movies, but it's a little early. I need it to be kind of cold and a little snowy because I'm from the Midwest, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not like it has to be after Thanksgiving or anything like that. So I can get into the mood, but I'll probably wait, I might not catch them all right when they're airing.
Because I think there's 6 on the regular channel before and 2. So there's 8
Mm-hmm.
movies before Halloween. Which is funny. I did like that one ad they had last year with the trick-or-treaters, knock, knock, knock. And they
I don't
opened
know
it
if I
and
saw that.
yeah, and everything's Christmas inside. One year we ran out of Halloween candy because we were on a pretty popular street
Mm-hmm.
growing up. And so we ran to I think it was CVS or wherever, and they had already put out the Christmas candy. So we gave out Christmas candy for Halloween.
Hey, candy is candy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Have you ever heard the Jerry Seinfeld Halloween little bit that he does? It's very
Uh-uh.
fun. It's very funny. And he talks about when you're getting older and you're getting more cynical about Halloween, and he's like they offer you the giant peanut, orange peanut. We'll pass on that. Only name brand candy only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and he's like, the bag with the little bag of candy. He's like, well, Pat, you can keep that. It's a really funny little bit. And he says, do you remember the first time you even heard about it? Your brain can't even comprehend. Everyone that we know is giving out free candy. It's true. It's very exciting when you're little.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Well, so we need a little Christmas, and it's on the 22nd. This stars Erica Durance, Lynn Whitfield, Patrick Sabungai, Caitlin Sarita Wana, and this is director Kevin Fair, who's a big Sign Seal Deliver guy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Writer Graham Locke and Angela Mancuso. Julie is adjusting to being a single mother to a grieving child while facing her first Christmas without her husband when she develops an unexpected friendship with her older neighbor, Irene. So this sounds like it's almost more of a friendship story than a romance story,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah, when I
nice.
first read this summary, it kind of reminded me of Holly and Ivy. They had she
Mm.
had the friendship with the neighbor and her 2 girls. Obviously this one's a little different, but yeah, it kind of gave me those vibes, and I love a good friendship story. I think I'm really glad that Hallmark is starting to do more of those.
Yeah, because I know for me, I was always very like close with. I was always a big mentor person. I had whether it was women at church or teachers that I had, things like that I became very good friends with, and so I think that that's a nice thing that not only for Eric Durance's character but also for her daughter, getting to
Mm-hmm.
know this. I'm not sure uh, who the older neighbor Irene is. Let me see. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the only. It must be. So maybe they made her look older. Let's see how old she is. She's 69. So they must
Oh,
make her
really?
kind of older.
Well,
Lynn
she
Whitfield.
looks a lot younger. I would never have expected that. So.
Yeah. But anyway, it seems like a cute story. It'll be hopefully not too much of a downer. Sounds kind of depressing, but
A lot
but
of these sound a bit
yeah.
depressing. I think I read through them all. And I was like, man, there's a lot of widows in these storylines or absentee husbands of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know it's so funny how they end up with themes. I think probably even by accident. But
Yeah.
I like Patrick Sabunga. He came on the podcast last year because he was in the Katie Sackhoff movie, Christmas Sale.
Oh, okay. So I do know
Hmm.
him. I just didn't recognize his name. Okay.
Yeah. So he's very charming, very fun. So I'm happy that he's still staying around the Hallmark family.
Mm-hmm.
Erica Durance is not my favorite, but I did like her the movie she did this year, Color of My Love, I think. The one about the with the Down syndrome daughter. It was
I actually
very
didn't get to catch
sweet.
that one, but I really liked her in North to Home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was had some issues with it, but I liked her better. I really did not like her Christmas movie last year with Brennan Elliott.
Mhm.
She was way too much of a neurotic mom for my taste.
That was the one with
Uh
Allison Sweeney, right?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like so on that one.
Yeah. So I I liked her in Smallville. um, so what do you give this one?
I'm gonna give this one the standard little like shiny orange. Like I'm hopeful about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an orange too. And let's just hope it's not like a sad orange. One of those ones that you
Yeah.
peel all the way and then it's not that good.
Has a couple seeds in it. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be seedless.
yeah, that's right.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/hallmarkies.
So then we have Christmas bedtime stories. This on the 29th, and it's Erin Cahill, Steve Lund. Great combo. I think they'll have very good chemistry.
Yes.
And director Elise Liette Rogers. And it's when Danielle's husband goes missing in action during his deployment. She is left to raise her daughter on her own. 3 years later, as she acclimates to life without him, she begins to tell her daughter bedtime stories of her father. So, yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah, this
going on.
This one's definitely very intriguing. And yeah, going back to the main couple, Aaron and Steve, I think they're going to be dynamite. I thought I envisioned them more in a more of a comical, like more of a Hallmark Channel movie together. So I'll be really interested to see them in this maybe of more of a serious tone movie. But I think, like you said, they're going to have really good chemistry.
I hope that they spend enough time together, because that's my worry, is that she's going to be telling all these stories, and so they won't really be together that much.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that Steve Lund can bring the drama, because he did last year in the Miss Miracle.
Yes.
And that was really well done. And I'm trying to think if Erin Cahill has done drama. I feel like she has, but my mind is blank. I can't think of, but she's so sweet and so kind. And so I'm sure she'll do a great job, and she's good, great whenever working with kids. So, that's going to be good. And, let me see, I'm looking, of course, Timeless Christmas was so good. And hold on just a sec. Oh, she did that Every Time a Bell Rings last year, and that had a little bit of drama for a character. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she was in I call it the Hallmark Batman movie, but it's really on Lifetime. It's Random Acts of Christmas. Did you ever see that with Kevin McGarry?
Oh yes, I did. I did see that one.
So good. I liked that one. She was also in a movie called Hometown Christmas on Lifetime that, like, it's not a very memorable movie, except for her fiance in that movie gives her a whole room full of snow, like paper snow. And they have and I'm like, that's like my dream. I love the snow room. It's the only thing I remember about that movie. The snow room. But yeah, this one, it sounds good. It sounds cute. So I hope it will bring that emotion. And so I'm gonna give this one also an orange. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna take a leap and I'm gonna make this one my diamond.
No way. All right.
I think mostly because of the pairing. I am
Yeah.
hopeful and I don't cry, so I think I'll be okay with the emotional aspect of it. I think I'm gonna give it my diamond though.
All right. Yes. Well, and if anyone knows Steve Lund, tell him we want him on the podcast. We're big fans. All right. So then on the 5th of November, we have Maple Valley Christmas. And this stars Andrew Walker and Peyton List. And when we did the initial reaction that our live stream, we were wrong. There's a Peyton List that's on what's it called? The Karate Kid show. I can't think of the name all of a sudden, but that's really young, and she's only like 25. So we were like, wow, that's
is it that show Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai, yeah, Cobra Kai. Anyway, that's not this Peyton List. There's a different Peyton List. And so she's like 36, this Peyton List, and so not as big a gap as we thought with Andrew Walker, who I think is 43. So we were wrong.
So it's all good. It's all good.
The joys of live television, right? Live streams. This is directed by Paul Ziller and writer Joie Boken, who's one of our faves. She's done so many good ones, and Claire Boyles. And Erica is a rancher who has spent her whole life working the family farm with her mother and sister. When Aaron arrives and disrupts her plans, she starts to question what it is she actually wants. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty basic, I would say.
Not a lot to go on there.
No. I think it'll help a lot once we get like the promos and we can see the chemistry. And I mean, Joie Boken, her scripts have been generally very, very good. And she Miss Christmas, Love in Store. Her pen pal is one of my favorites.
Oh, yes, that was a fantastic one.
A lot of people love Project Christmas Wish that she did in
yes.
Cranberry Christmas. She's done some of the more like emotional ones, and so I love Falling for You. That's one of my favorites that she's done. So she has a lot of wins. She did that one with Candace Cameron Bure last year that was sort of insane. The Christmas
competition
contest.
one.
Yeah, that one was wild. Anyway, so that kind of intrigues me the most. I mean, I love Andrew Walker as a person. I think he's so nice, but he is a bit hit and miss for me as far as his projects. And I love Snowden Christmas, of course. But and I liked his one last year pretty good, the Christmas Family Tree. But he also has misses like Christmas on My Mind. The Amnesia one. That was not good. I also am not anyway, he has his Wedding March movie. What are you gonna do with that one? But anyway, he has some misses for me, but he is very charming, and we haven't seen this Peyton List, and so we'll have to see if they have chemistry. But yeah, the summary is pretty basic.
Yeah.
The new person in the farm coming. I don't know if he's like a celebrity, or we don't really know what Aaron is. It just says when Aaron arrives.
When he arrives, disrupts our plans.
So I think I am going to give this a sock.
Yeah, I was gonna rank it a little low, but I'm gonna go a little higher just because of the writer and knowing that I liked a lot of the other projects she's done. So I'm gonna give it some very festive Christmas socks with like Christmas cows on it because it says it's a ranch.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So we're gonna put Christmas cows on there.
That's good. Okay, good.
Little jingle bells on there.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't have a Hallmark Christmas season in 2022 without having an Italy movie. Christmas Italiano. This is on the 12th. It stars Beau Bridges and Sarah Power. director Catherine Siren and the Colucci siblings, in an effort to jog the memory of their grandfather who was struggling with dementia, set out to recreate their late grandma's legendary pasta sauce. And so this year, the Italian tourism board like got in touch with Hallmark and Netflix. And
Yeah,
it's the only place to have
how
romance.
many did Hallmark do after they had the trio with the wedding veil, and then they had like at least one or two more after that?
Yeah, because they had Welcome to Mama's. So it's either Italian, it's either in Italy or it's in an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
we're near there. So there was Welcome Mama's. There's Always Amore. There were both Italian restaurants ones, and then there was the Unthinkably Good Things. It was in Italy. I feel like there's even more that I'm forgetting. But on Netflix, they had they had Love and Gelato and the Love in the Villa, and then there's another one coming out with Zoe. What's her shoot? Today is not my day for remembering things. What's her name from she plays with Zoe Saldana. They have another one with Zoe Saldana coming out later this season. So, and I feel like there's even more.
Gosh. Yeah, maybe I'm the unpopular opinion, but I am done with Italy. I was done after like the second Wedding Veil movie, and I'm like, no more Italy.
I mean, I went to Italy when I was 17. I had a great time, but I didn't fall in love, so I feel like I got gypped.
You got gypped. I guess you gotta go. That's why all these movies are coming out, Rachel. They're messages to tell you to go back to Italy to find your love.
You want to come be my wingman?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's gonna be the next Hallmark Christmas movie. Two friends venture to Italy.
We'll be working up the treatment right now. Keep listening to the podcast, everybody. Then Jess and I can find our loves in Italy.
Because that's the only country you can find love in. Yeah. That is the only country.
Every once in a while, you can go to Ireland and also find love. But those seem to be the only two places.
But Italy, that's where it's at.
Yeah. So yes, they're making the legendary pasta sauce. And I love Sarah Power. She was on Good Witch. And I really enjoyed her in there. Beau Bridges is, he's legendary. Who else is I'm seeing if on IMDb it says any of the other siblings. It doesn't. But yeah, I mean, it's a cute idea, but I am kind of Italy'd out.
Like, give us another culture.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I mean, yeah, go to Germany or France.
For our friend Casey, let's do Christmas in the Philippines.
Yeah. I guess they did have one in France. That was the Luke McFarlane one, the lighthouse one.
We can keep going a little further, east.
Yeah. What do they go to?
The continent.
They go to Russia or something. I don't know, just somewhere else besides Italy. Other places cook.
Other countries.
Anyway, it was funny. They could go to Greece.
Ooh, there you go.
I actually, when I went to Italy, we did Italy and Greece. It was a tour, like a student tour. And I actually kind of preferred Greece just because Greece was so much cheaper at the time than Italy. So I felt like I could do more because I didn't have much of a budget, as a 17-year-old. And I mean, I'm just a big beach person. And so we were sort of more on the coastal part of, we did go to Athens and everything, but we spent more time on the coast than we did in Italy. And I was not a big fan of Pompeii. It was just weird to me. I don't know. All they have, because there was this big volcano, in Pompeii, and they had all of this ash from and it literally crystallized people in the ash, and they still have it there. And you go and you walk around and you see these ash things of people. It's very weird. Also, in Pompeii, they have tons of mangy dogs that follow you around wherever you go, which I was not a fan of. So overall, Pompeii was a miss for me. So I really liked I liked Greece a lot. So
Yeah.
anyway, what would you give Christmas Italiano?
Mostly just because I don't want another Italy movie. I'm gonna give it coal with some sock fuzz on it because it still might be good. I mean, maybe if they like mailed me this legendary pasta sauce to eat while I watch the movie.
Yeah,
That
Hallmark
would
Channel,
help.
send us a care package.
Yeah,
The
but for
sauce.
now, I'm just like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it a sock, but only because of Bo Bridges and Sarah Power, who I like a lot. But yeah, I agree. It feels a little played out.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Jen Johans, host of the podcast Watch with Jen, which delivers a steady stream of great movie recommendations, thoughtful career deep dives, and first-rate conversations with film critics, authors, actors, journalists, filmmakers, and more. You can find Watch with Jen wherever you get your podcasts or hear us first at our Patreon at patreon.com/filmintuition.
Okay, so then we have Long Last Christmas. This on the 19th. This stars Taylor Cole, Benjamin Ayres, director Michael Robinson, who's done tons of these. Haley is an interior designer who plans to surprise her recently widowed mother, Patricia, with the perfect holiday present, the extended family she knows her mom yearns for. This sounds very sweet, I have to say. And I feel like I can relate to it because my family is all kind of scattered, and that would be like the best surprise ever. I mean, we can't do it because my sister's in England, so she can't really leave right now. Her husband's from England, so she's just finally got her visa to be over there, so she can't go. But if it was possible and all of us were able to be at Christmas for my mom and dad, that would mean a lot. So I feel like that's sort of my connection to it. They don't say on the Variety article who the mother is.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Which you think that they would. But anyway, I think it sounds sweet. What do you think?
Well, I think my biggest question right now is like, where does Ben's character come in? They don't actually mention that in the description. Like, does he work for some like genealogy company and like, let me help you find your extended family?
Oh yeah, that's true. So it wouldn't even be so she could need help. It could be very extended.
Yeah, maybe her family's in Italy. And just connect these other two movies here.
Yeah.
They're related to the Colucci siblings.
That would,
because the grandfather has dementia, so he doesn't remember about his relative Patricia in in America.
I mean, you just made this movie a million times better than it will be. We know that now.
Hallmark, hire me.
I would die.
Good ideas.
That would be a diamond ring.
Look, we're gonna have a Hallmark universe where everyone's kind of connected, and it's great.
I would love that so much. That would be amazing. Yeah, so I would give this one an orange. I think it sounds like a sweet story.
I'm gonna give it just some fuzzy socks. I think.
Okay.
I'm not like super pumped, but I think like there's still potential here.
Then we have Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. This on the 26th stars Tyler Hines and Holland Roden. And writer Marcy Holland, director David Winning, and Marcy Holland has done a number of these Time for whatever movies. We kind of joke, when are they going to run out of pronouns?
I know, we still need for our Midwestern and Southern folks time for y'all to come home for Christmas. We could have the Rancher movie there. Yes. Again, we're going to connect all these movies.
Yes, I think that needs to happen.
It's going to happen someday. Eventually, they're going to run out.
Yeah. 4 days before Christmas, Elizabeth Athens receives a voicemail from a number she doesn't recognize. On the message, a man she doesn't know makes one final plea to the love of his life for a second chance. The 5th installment of the popular movie franchise. I think that's a little bit of an oversell. I mean, are these movies that popular? Based on Blake Shelton's song "Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas." And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they really are very popular. They keep making them, so I guess so.
I mean, they're doing something right there on the 5th one.
Yeah. So, yeah, so she gets this message, and I think we'd be pretty excited, all of us, to get a message from Tyler Hines on our answer machine.
I mean, call us.
Yeah, we've done the voicemail giveaways as part of our Patreon, and we'll hopefully do them again. But where people could get Tyler Hines on their voicemail.
Yeah. So this could be your movie, basically.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe we inspired this movie.
We did.
So Marcy. Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a pretty interesting story. All of these movies all involve like a road trip of some kind. So she's obviously concerned about this man who is pleading for the love of his life, get a second chance, all that. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good one. You know, I don't know if I've seen all of the Time for whatever series. I know I liked the one last year a lot.
Yeah.
I really like the one with Allison Sweeney, the one she was in. So you know, it's had a good track record for me of these movies. And Tyler Hines, I mean, come on, he can't disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm intrigued by this, you know, voicemail and kind of that mystery element that I think these movies tend to have as well. So I'm pretty hopeful for this one.
I think actually, honestly, my favorite of the series is probably the Lacey Chabert one. I think it was Us, I think. Where they all get the letters to the B&B.
Was that the one with Victor Webster too? Was he in that one?
No, it had Stephen Huszar.
Oh, that's right, Stephen Huszar.
Yeah,
right.
I liked that. I liked the different, you know, following the different letters and the different stories and everything. I thought that one was pretty good. I mean, she had a great year that year because she had, I think that was 2020. She had that and Christmas Waltz, which is one of my faves. And then she also had that year the Winter Fest movie in Vale, Love in Vale or whatever. That was also good with Tyler. Anyway, so I mean, this sounds pretty interesting. And I don't know Holland Roden at all. I've never seen her in anything. But I'm gonna give this. It could be a little boring. Is my only worry. Sometimes I feel like sometimes when they try to do sort of Signed, Sealed, Delivered light, you know, we're like researching a voicemail or a letter or a ring or a bracelet or, you know, something like that. They've done a lot of those kinds of stories and sometimes they can be snoozes. But I like Marcy as a writer. So yeah, I'm going to give this, I feel like I've just been giving out a lot of oranges, but I am going to give it an orange.
The year of the orange.
Yeah.
So we should have made all our stuff like Italy themed, you know, give it like pasta or.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
I think I'm going to give it an orange drizzled with some chocolate.
Oh, you could do one of those like chocolate oranges that you bang on the desk.
There you go.
That's good.
Chocolate orange.
Chocolate orange. Okay. All right. Next we have the holiday stocking, and this is on the 3rd. This is Nadine Ellis, BJ Brett, Karen Riley, Tamala Jones, McKelty Williamson, and this is in the Mahogany series. RJ is a new angel who's given the chance to address his one regret that he didn't help his sisters reconcile while he was still alive. Returning to Earth as a stranger, he gets each of them to revive the holiday stocking, their parents' old tradition to encourage charity at Christmas. And they are doing a lot of sort of angels and ghosts of Christmas past, kind of Christmas Carol, Scrooges. I feel like that's kind of a theme this year on both channels.
Yeah,
so that's kind of fun. What do you think of this one?
So first, I'm excited to see Tamala Jones because I was a huge fan of Castle growing up, and she played Lainey Parrish. So
okay,
I'm so excited to see her in this. I really like the concept of the story, so I think it's going to be good. But I will say I don't love angel movies necessarily. So that's maybe my one hang up, and that might just be like a personal thing. Just because I'm more of like I don't know what the word is, like a purist. Like I want, if they're gonna have an angel, I kind of like it to be more biblically of what an angel is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And which is usually not like humans and angel are totally separate things. So that aside though, I think the storyline itself, like reconciling his siblings, I think that'll be really interesting as well. So
yeah, I mean, they've had some pretty good angel movies in the past. There's, I mean, obviously you have movies like Once Wonderful Life and everything, and movies like that. But there's also the Signed, Sealed, Delivered Christmas movie has Angel, and that one's so good. And I really like the first Christmas in Angel Falls with Paul Green being an angel. I think that one's really good. Oh wait, no, he's not the angel. Rachel Boston is
she's the angel.
Rachel Boston's the angel. Anyway, I like that one.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
And so, yeah, I think it sounds like a pretty good story and more about friendship and the sisterhood than about romance. So that's nice. And so far the Mahogany movies have been really good. I've enjoyed both of the ones they've had so far. So that makes me, pretty hopeful. I'm gonna give it an orange. I hope it'll be good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it the same. A nice, juicy, bright orange.
Yeah. All right. So then we have The Gift of Peace, and this is on the 10th, and it's Brennan Elliott, Nikki DeLoach, and Cardi Wong, director Fred Gerber. Artist Tracy is a once devout Christian who has stopped believing in God after her husband tragically died despite her prayers. As her second Christmas without him approaches, she tries going to a support group for inspiration and comfort. That is heavy. And we talked to Nikki about this at Christmas Con, and she was like, I can do funny. Remember, I could do funny. And so please, Hallmark.
Putting her in all these very serious movies.
Oh my gosh. She's become like the poster child for the Marriage in Crisis movie. I mean, she can do funny. She's been on a whole comedy series. She really can. So, and Brennan Elliott can do funny too. In fact, I think that's usually when he's at his best, is when he's a little silly.
Yeah, so, this sounds like the one that's going to make people cry.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds intense. The husband died.
You got the faith aspect that can be very, emotional as well.
This seems like our substitute for the God wink this year. We're not getting a God wink. So this seems kind of God winky to me.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But I think it's going to be something, that a lot of people probably can relate to, having that, struggling with faith, especially during, maybe the holiday times, or if you have, experienced the loss. I think a lot of people will be able to connect with that. But then again, that also brings the emotional angle of we might need to promote tissues for this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I love, she can do the reason why she got in this in this thing is because she does these movies so well. I mean, I love Two Turtle Doves. That's one of my all-time favorite Hallmark movies. So good. I love Love to the Rescue. It's one of my favorites. I mean, that's not as emotional as these. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I haven't given a diamond ring this whole episode. Sorry, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. But I think I will give this one an orange, but I might need like a sock as a tissue. We'll see.
That's your tissue substitute. Is the sock.
I hope it will be good and it will earn its tears. So we'll see. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it an orange dusted with some diamond, dust. Because I think it is gonna be really good. However, a faith-based movie is a really hard balance to get right sometimes. Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing it, as a person of faith myself, but they sometimes are hit or miss depending on how well it's done. So,
and her losing her faith, I mean, that is an interesting plot part of that is an interesting plot point, because you think of movies like Christmas Promise, they don't add that sort of other layer of her losing her faith. So yeah,
but if they do it right, I mean, it can be very powerful. So diamond dust.
Yeah. All right, last one, and I hate to end on a bit of a grumpy note for me, but this is 5 more minutes, moments like these. This is on the 17th, and it's Ashley Williams, Lucas Bryant, director Kevin Fair, who again has done a bunch of Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The second holiday story inspired by Scotty McCreery's song 5 More Minutes. A young widow's Christmas wish for her son is answered in an unexpected way when she returns to their old home for the holidays. And so the last one with Nikki DeLoach, I did not care for. I gave it a very low score. The reason why was because I just didn't like the fact that they basically had her emotionally cheating with this nice guy who didn't do anything really wrong for him to deserve this, when she could have broken up with him at the very beginning, and it wouldn't even, like, it was a totally unnecessary plot development plot point. And it just soured the whole movie for me because I didn't really like what either of them was doing, and it hurt their chemistry because I wasn't I was just like, why did they include that? It did not need to be part of the story, and it just hurt the entire thing for me. And I gave it, I think, one crown. I did not like that movie. And this one, obviously it's going to be a different story, so hopefully they won't do that again.
Well, it's a widow, so hopefully there's
no emotional
cheating going on.
But there have been a lot of widows this season. But I feel like Ashley Williams is such a strange casting. I love her, don't get me wrong, and I think she's really fun, but I just do not picture her for this role. She's usually really light, really fun, funny. So maybe she'll surprise me, and she totally could. I don't know. I just feel like it's a very strange choice, and not using the actors it's kind of like similar to what I feel like they've been doing with Alicia Witt, even though she's not in one this season. But like for a long time, they had her in like 3 more serious movies in a row, 3 or 4. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Her bread and butter is the comedy, is that she can bring the comedy into his scenes. And she does that even in the more dramatic ones. So maybe that's their thought. But I don't know. It just seems like a weird casting.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of that, including the first 5 More Minutes movie. I think my review of it was basically that I enjoyed the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes, but the stuff in between, it got really convoluted with all the emotional cheating and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree too. Like I like Ashley really in the funny movies, or at least the ones with a bit more humor, because she's so good at it. And I'm like, when I see a movie with Ashley, I'm like, I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna laugh. But yeah, I mean, we might be surprised, and I like the song. But there's not much else to go on here. I mean,
there's really not.
Returning home for the holidays. Well, that's kind of every Christmas movie.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a call. I'm sorry, Ashley. Prove
I'm
me
just gonna
wrong.
give it some regular socks.
Gym
Nothing
socks.
fancy.
All right, we did it.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one I probably should bump up to diamond ring. So I give one diamond ring. I think maybe Christmas bedtime stories. Maybe I'll bump
Yeah.
that one up. Yeah. Did
Join
you
me
get
with the diamond. I'm like,
yes.
it's the pairing. I'm like, they're gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I think there's something kind of fun about this bedtime story
Yeah.
element to it. I think it's gonna be hopefully
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not too heavy.
So let us know what you think if you're listening, what rating you're giving these, and make sure you check out our preview of Hallmark Channel that we'll be doing as well, and we'll have a preview of the Up TV movies. We're gonna have a preview of all the rest where we talk about HBO Max, we talk about Netflix. So we have you covered, previews covered on this podcast. So totally check that out. And Jess, how can people find you?
You can find me at Jess BSW blog on Twitter and Instagram.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That helps us so much. And it helps people to find the podcast, especially during this season. We really, really, really appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group and merch store where we have tons of festive designs. So take a look over there. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.